They don't think anyone else compares to you. You know, they wanted to go do all these things. They wanted to see how you would react. They were also testing themselves to see if they would stop loving you while they were with someone else. Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. This is a love reading for the sign of Leo. If you're watching for Leo, please just reverse the roles because it'll feel as though I'm speaking to you about your Leo. So I shuffled the deck and pulled your cards. I'm just looking at the bottom of the deck to see what is going on. This is interesting. Okay, so I'm seeing focus on leaving the situation in the past. You've got 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and I'm seeing healing. I'm seeing a decision about what you want. This is interesting. Let's go back a little further. What were you leaving? Narcissist. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it does kind of look like that. It looks like you felt as though the situation that you were giving to, you were alone. This person, it feels like you could never get them to like let you in or drop their balls. It felt like every action you took, they kind of undermined your actions in the sense of maybe it almost feels intentional, but I don't think it is. I think you took this as intentional, but it was like anytime you would try to show this person that you cared, they would either misconstrue your words or they would like go silent. Anytime you came closer to this person, they would pull away. This person has some trauma, is what I'm seeing here. And with what I'm seeing, it's like you were putting a lot of effort into a situation where this person, they almost seemed like uninterested or like they lived to sabotage the connection. That's where you needed to heal, is what I'm seeing here. Like when you became very focused on getting away from this. I think it's because you felt rejected, you felt frustrated, you felt like you put this person over you because it feels like they have some trauma. Like this could be a past partner that did them like really dirty, like pulled the rug out from under them. Could be a mother figure being like abusive to them growing up. But I feel like this person, when you first met them, there was kind of this energy of like, I can heal you. I can love you through this. If you weren't trying to do that, at the very least, you were aware of what this person's issues were. And you were like, okay, I understand that you got stuff and that doesn't affect me in the sense of like, I'm not an insecure person. So if you need space, if you're feeling triggered, it's okay. Like I get it, you know. You don't need to show up for me in any particular way because I'm like healthy and healed and I have a good life, and you can just I'll give you room, right? I'll give you space to work through whatever's triggering you. So I feel like you did that for a while, but then this person, they never came close enough for you to feel like it was worth it. You know, I'm seeing you making a lot of concessions out of love and feeling like you're not really getting anywhere, starting to wonder if this person is just a narcissist or if there's something wrong with them. It does look like there was some kind of decision that never really happened. Almost like maybe the door got left open, never really got shut. The two of you could have just started focusing on other things. This is giving like either ghosting energy or slow fade energy. Doesn't feel like there was a lot of anger or anything between the two of you. It just feels like there's a question that's like not answered or open-ended. You know, I think deep down what you really wish is that this person would show up and be like, hey, I worked through my stuff. I'm good now. I'm really sad without you. Because what I'm seeing is like you gave this person a lot of support and you gave this person a lot of room, but it still feels like there's no decision that this person has made. Like they just never gave closure, never gave an explanation or like a definitive answer. Maybe even started doing something else with someone else. And for you, you're starting to look at this person as like not just a waste of time, but like now you're getting kind of mad in the sense of like, I would be a fool to give you any more time, because even though I love you, I don't even know if it's mutual. This is almost like somebody took all of your energy and then they give it to someone else in a way that it's like they give that person what they should have given to you. Because what I'm seeing here is you kind of cutting your losses, but also being like upset about it in the sense of like, I feel bitterness towards this person. I showed them a lot of grace, unconditional love and understanding. And now I feel used. I feel like this person took my kindness for weakness. Maybe they never had any intention of ever coming around or being with me. Maybe they just used me until I felt better, right? There's an energy of feeling like if you gave this person any more of your time, you wouldn't be learning from the lessons that you feel like they've shown you. You getting into a space of feeling like you need to believe this person's patterns over the potential that existed, or what you saw in them or what you felt for them. It's like, okay, but the fact of the matter is you sat in my face and you put me through all this stuff and I kept turning the other cheek, and now it feels like all these things that you couldn't come up with, couldn't give to me, you can very easily give to someone else. That's how you're seeing this. That's what it's looking like to you. Okay. What I'll say about that though is what I'm seeing in this spread is that it's not what you think that it is. Wherever this person is, they are viewing the person they're with as someone who's temporary, even if they're not saying that. There's something that they're benefiting from the person they're dealing with now. I think it's a stability thing. I think it's a financial thing, because it's almost like they're using this new person or newer person. The newer person thinks they won the lottery. Your person doesn't even view them as someone that they'll be sticking around for. They're just kind of looking for a good time. And they're taking advantage of the fact that this person actually really does seem to like them. This is gross. This person, it's like they know that they have a lot of work to do on themselves. They know that they hurt people and that they kind of like leave this trail of broken hearts. But then it's like, but that's just who I am, right? I'm not going to change. This isn't my problem to fix. People know who I am when they start dealing with me. I'm not a committal person. Like, yeah, we can hang out until we can't. And that's not my problem that you're now upset, right? So I think because you're on the outside of this looking in, you're thinking, oh, this person is like doing so much for whoever they're with. But the reality of the situation is they're not. They're literally using that person. And even if they seem like they're committed to that person, they still have one foot out the door. Okay, like whatever they've shown you, what's weird is like I think you got the closest to being their number one, their priority, their only person. And I think that was really scary for them, because what if you do become the priority and all of a sudden you see how it's almost like ill they are, how mentally ill they are, or how like messed up they are. It's like them trying to hide who they are from you, but they're wrapping it up in rejection. Because this person, this is really weird, but this person kind of wants you to hate them. Like they kind of want you to leave them alone, give up on them, because they know that they're a lot of work. And they also don't know that they're even in a space to allow somebody to put in that kind of work, or to be like vulnerable to somebody doing that for them, because they'd have to receive love. And that's very triggering for this person. And so it's almost like they're trying to hurt you so that you'll give up on them. Even though you've walked away, I think this person knows you well enough to know that you are hoping for another chance with them, or that things could go different. And it feels like they've probably been putting you through the most. Like, what's really weird is even though they're dealing with someone else, what I'm being shown is like, first of all, that's temporary. But second of all, the person that they're dealing with now is actually secondary. They're using that person more as a tool to have an effect on you. Okay, like that person could be anybody. They're not really worried about who that person is. They just want you to see like how little you matter, or that they're off with someone new. I think it's because this person didn't like that you ended up moving away from them. It's like they're trying to punish you because their ego is wounded. But then it's also like this attitude of like, well, it's better this way anyway, because they would just leave if they knew how messed up I was. Or, it's better if I make them hate me, because what happens if they love me? They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep trying, right? This is all coming from like this person's inner child, trying to push people away, push you away, and make you hate them so that you will give up. You'll give up on expecting anything different from them. What I find interesting, though, is what's coming towards you is the Knight of Pentacles. So, this is so dumb. Whatever this person's doing isn't working out for them. I do see them being single very soon. And I see them trying to get a hold of you. It's almost like they want to check and see if you saw the show that they were putting on and how it affected you. They want to see, like, do you still love them, so that they know whether or not they should find like a new relationship. This person, I don't even know what is with this person. This is how they test people. This is how they test someone. And what's weird is like, they want to see if you'll love them after they do like all of the worst things. And then they'll be like, okay, they didn't leave when I did the worst, so I could be with that person because I put them through everything. That's crazy. This person literally, what it's saying is like, they literally will end up getting out of the relationship they're in, maybe in a way that they really hurt the person that they're dealing with, or just they flat out tell them like, I don't love you. I never loved you, and then coming back towards you like, hey, you're the person that I want. It's me and you. And that's very confusing to you. And which it would be. This is super weird, because it's like, where did this come from? Why now? Why has this suddenly just, it's us and we're a thing? But this person, like, they're so strange. Like, they're a slow burn. They're slow. Like, it takes a long time for them to feel like they're gonna make a choice. This could be somebody that maybe you've known this person for like years, and you still feel miles apart from this person. You still feel like you barely know them. They're really, this is just a really strange person. What I'm seeing is that everything that they say is probably going to make you mad. It's going to turn you off. It looks like you will block this person, in all honesty, because you don't care. Like, to you, it's like, how could you say that you love me if you just spent the last 3 years with someone else? You love me? Like, because for you, what I'm seeing is when you love someone, you don't look at other people. You couldn't imagine your life with anyone else. And so the fact that they could go off and do all this stuff and make it all public and throw it in your face, to you, it's like, you don't know the first thing about love or loyalty. You don't come over here talking about what you feel now or what you've realized or what you've learned, because I don't care. I don't care. This person loves you, though. As weird as this sounds, it's like every day that they were with someone else, they were thinking about you, right? Maybe they were even like with this person romantically, like physically thinking about you. Like, everything this person has done has been to test you, to figure out what your reaction would be, to like post a pic and then really quick run over to your social media and see if you see it or what you do. And I feel bad for the person that has gotten caught up in this situation, because that person actually thought they found a prize. You know, they didn't even understand what this person is really like, right? In this person's mind, they're still with you, and they're testing the relationship that you are allegedly in together, even though all this time has gone by and you probably haven't even really heard from this person, right? In their mind, this is all like, a chapter in your love story. Let's find out more about the person we're dealing with. That person's going to feel really upset. It's like they don't want your person. I'm not saying your person, but like the person in your energy. They don't want them to leave, because then they'll feel really stupid, because they put a lot of effort into building something. Like, that person's getting the rug pulled out from under them because they thought that the two of them are going to be together forever, or that they were building something like really solid. When in reality, the whole time, this person has just been thinking about you and when they're going to come back to you. And, if you still love them after everything they put you through, then you're safe and they can't wait to give it all to you. It's so weird. Your opportunity, 6 of Pentacles. If this person owes you money, you could probably get it back, right? It feels like they're going to be trying to show you in their own weird way that you're what they want. 4 of Wands, you're where they want to be. You could do this if you wanted to. It looks like this person, this is so weird, they don't think anyone else compares to you. They wanted to go do all these things. They wanted to see how you would react. They were also testing themselves to see if they would stop loving you while they were with someone else. I just got to make sure this is real. So I went off and I was with all these other people, and I always thought of you, right? That's not the flex people think it is when they say things like, I always come back to you. Okay, cool. Like, I wish you wouldn't, because it interrupts everything you're doing. It's damaging to have somebody keep coming in and out, What's this person's problem? 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so they think if they just give you all of themselves right away, you'll leave. I think they think you're a lot better than they are, because you're not toxic. You came into this reading showing up as someone who is healthy and healed. And so they really do think it's only a matter of time before you see like the depths of their problems, like how messed up they really are. They feel like because you don't have those types of problems, or maybe you did and you dealt with them, you're just going to be like, you're too much, and so really this is this person's way of trying to get you out of their system, get them out of your system, and then seeing like, oh, I still want them. I still love them. Do they still love me? Oh, they're upset, so they must care. I don't know what you're going to do with this. This is dumb. Like, sorry to judge it, but I'm judging. This is dumb. It's immature is really what it is, and like, I'm picking up on how tired you feel when you think about this situation. This has been a long, stupid, dragged out saga. You know, the hard part about this is like, I think you genuinely are happy when you're with this person, even though they act like standoffish and aloof and weird. You know, I think that you really do, for some reason, like have some kind of like psychic connection with this person or whatever. But this is just exhausting, to be honest with you. I think that this person, it's like you're drained. Unfortunately, it would take a lot for them to be able to restore any kind of faith you have in them, is what I'm seeing. You know, the obstacle here is them actually like showing you a new side of themselves that would even remotely excite you. Not to be funny, but like that's literally what I mean. Like, you're so bored and tired of this person that I don't even know what they would have to do to like pique your interest or make you give to this situation. Because at this point you're just like bored. You're over it. They don't interest you, you know. Even if they've had some revelation or epiphany or whatever, you're just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you've been thinking about, right? Everybody's 10 of Swords in the reverse, King of Swords in the reverse, King of Wands, Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, so this person went on this journey and here they are. I feel like what you've already seen is such a turnoff. You might want to question, is this person a narcissist? I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. But like, maybe if you can, the problem is like, you know why this person does what they do. And that's why you're able to give them grace. What you need to figure out is, does this person know why they do what they do? Because this is not something that you could ever fix. They have to want this for themselves. They have to fix their problems and their like how they're kind of broken and sad and whatever. And I don't like to think of people as broken, but I'm telling you, this is how they view themselves, right? They would have to put themselves back together on their own and understand why they do the things they do. Because if they're not at a place where they're like so sick of their own shit and sabotaging good stuff, they're just going to keep coming back and then getting triggered. And then you're going to be trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together. And then they're going to be like, oh no, you're trying to fix me. Who do you think you are? You can't love me. I need to run. And this is going to upset your life constantly. You know, as soon as this person gets triggered, they're on the move and you're wondering where they are, right? So, I mean, they could mean what they're saying. They do, actually. 6 of Wands. You know, I think that they have learned a lot. But the hard part is like, is that going to persist? Is that going to fizzle out as soon as they feel uncomfortable with being vulnerable? Because in this moment, what I'm seeing is they do mean it, right? They do mean whatever they're saying to you. But it doesn't have a lot of sustenance because it's being clarified with the Knight of Wands, the High Priestess reversed, and the 10 of Swords. So the unfortunate part about this person at this time is they think that they've gotten to the bottom of what their problem is. And they think that they can come back and tell you all the things. But the truth of the matter is they haven't even scratched the surface of what their problem is. They don't know that though, right? They don't realize that. They think they figured it out. And they kind of think they figured it out because they let this past person do all this stuff for them and they didn't run away, right? I was in a relationship with somebody and I didn't shut down when they said they loved me. And I even said I love them back, so I'm healed and now I can love you. They were using that person like to practice, you know? But the thing is, you're not that person, right? So your love is very different. You have a love where it's like you break people down. you break down the falsities of their personality, and you bring what they need to be able to come into alignment with themselves to the surface. So whatever they're hiding, you make it so they have to see it. They have to deal with it to be able to come into union with themselves so they can come into union with you. You probably are the kind of person where people don't stay in your life for long. You know, maybe you don't have jobs for long. Your energy triggers people. There's something about you that pulls out of people the things that they hide. People cannot try to like be a false person around you for an extended period of time. And so you might find that people actually attack you verbally or get like agitated with you because you bring the real them to the light, and they don't like that. You know, they hide that for a reason. It's like you make people have to grow. And so when this person went off with whoever and they played house and they did what they did and they thought, I didn't run away when they hugged me, I did so good. They're not even remotely ready for what it'll be like to be with you. And that's the hard part, is that this person, they mean what they're saying and they think they figured it out, but they have not even begun to figure out what the core wound is, in addition to being with someone that's going to trigger them, because that is what your energy does. You know, that's what you do for the collective, is you upset people's apple carts when they've gotten stagnant. You make people have to figure out why they're hiding from themselves, you know, or what they're hiding from themselves. For your future, you got strength in the reverse. I think you're going to let this person have it. I feel like you will come to a realization. Oh, wow. So everything this person was trying to avoid, which is you seeing how they are, is exactly what's going to happen. Because when they come back with this crazy attitude that because they sat up with someone else and didn't get triggered, and because you watch that happen and you still pick up the phone, and because they thought of you every time they looked at someone else, that this is meant to be, you're going to be like, you're crazy. Like, now I'm realizing that there really is something wrong with you. Like, you're right. I did not understand the depths of your psychosis. I don't even know what you would call that, because to them this is fine. To them this is like, okay, what's the problem? I'm here and look at all the things I've learned. And to you this is like, wow, now I understand just how messed up you are. Like, I understand exactly who you are, and like, you are, something's wrong here, right? If you think that this is like, I'm supposed to celebrate this and that everything's okay, and you don't understand what the problem is, like, everything you're saying is so far from, like, oh, I see you blocking this person. You know, I feel like you're gonna end up blocking this person, because at the end of the day, it's like everything that they feared, they showed you, and they will be showing you in the strangest way, you know, because their attitude is going to be like, well, why would you be upset? This is a good thing. We should rejoice. Everything is fantastic. Look at all the things I've learned. I'm here. And for you, it's just like, wow, I'm good. Like, there's something really off about you, you know? I'd like to kind of look into what the point of all this was for you, because I feel bad. You know, I feel like you invested a lot. I think you saw things in this person that probably were there, but they're just maybe not cultivated yet or developed yet. Let's see what the point of this was for you, because this sucks. 3 of Swords. So I think for you it's hard because, like I was saying, you have that energy where you upset, you know, people's demons so that they can exercise them themselves. And because of that, you attract people that need what you have, is I guess the best way to say that. But the hard part is like, who who can you be with? What kind of friends can you have? If it seems like so many people are always like off, or something's off about them or wrong. You know what I mean? Your opportunity is, well, you've got a few things. One thing is to like not wait for this person. You know, it's showing you, like, for somebody to go live a whole life with someone else just to see how you'll act, or to prove something to themselves about you, or them being with you, like, to you, like, this should show you that this isn't something to wait for. You know what I mean? There's something here about codependent energy. So part of the lesson in this for you is, are you only attracted to people that need fixing? You know, what would you do? Maybe just ask yourself, what would you do if you attracted a partner that was like healthy and healed? Because what I'm seeing is, it's almost like subconsciously you worry that if you attracted somebody who had it together, they wouldn't want you. And so it's like this person is kind of mirroring to you how that looks, what that sounds like, right? And maybe if you can see like how completely bonkers this person sounds, you can see your own fears, but like magnified, of like, wow, you know what? I've really been avoiding people who are where I am, and I'm going after people that are not where I am, because if I can fix them and heal them, right, the star, they will always feel like I saved them. And so because I've brought this new part of them out that maybe they didn't even know the potential they had, you know, they'll fight for us. They'll stay with us. They'll be with me, you know. I think now is a really good time for you to think about what your value and your self-worth is outside of what you can do or fix in someone else or for someone else, right? There's an energy of feeling like you have to be the one who saves people. And because of that, it's like you also have to save your partner so that they're indebted to you. Where is this coming from? Okay. It feels like either you lost somebody that you loved because this could be a few things. Either you couldn't save someone from their own like mind or their past or their regrets, and so you keep creating that narrative. Like, to be honest with you, this almost feels like somebody like drank themselves to death, or maybe they overdosed or something. And so it's like, you look at it like, you chose that over me. You know what I mean? And there's an energy of like recreating that same situation. It could even be a parent, you know what I mean, that drank and drank until they like had liver failure. And you're like, nothing I did made them love me more than the alcohol, or nothing I did made them want to be with me more than them wanting to be with their trauma. You know what I mean? It's like you're recreating that narrative in your relationships of like, choose me over your trauma, choose me over your grief or your sorrow. You know, for those of you that you didn't experience this, you were in a situation where someone you really loved left you because they wanted to be somebody's savior. You know, like, it seems like maybe you manifested a relationship where someone was either further than you in their healing, or they were about where you were at. And because they didn't like need anything from you, they had no problem just kind of bailing. And it looks like they might have picked somebody over you that was like a fixer upper, or that didn't have anything. And it made you be like, wow, this person did this because I didn't invest in them. There was nothing that I helped them with, right? And that has nothing to do with you. That's this person, like this past person's insecurity. I think you attract these codependent relationships where either people are codependent on you or you're codependent on them, and it's more comfortable for you to be the one that people are codependent on. But either way you put it, it's still codependency, right? So something that would be good for all of you is to, Queen of Swords, start looking at how can you be more independent. Because Queen of Swords is a very independent energy. This is somebody that they don't need to feel like they're saving someone, and they don't need to be saved by anyone either. And codependency is such a hard thing to deal with. Maybe going to therapy would be good, or maybe like reading some self-help books. I think there's one that I always hear that's like Codependent No More. Because there's a wound here where you just kind of keep creating the same situations. And maybe with this happening in real time with this person in front of your face, like with you being able to see the whole full circle of it, it will really bring to light some of the areas that you should be trying to work on just for your own well-being, right? You got playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. Remember, love is the greatest healer. So the thing about that is like your relationships, it feels like become therapy sessions, where you're the one trying to heal a person and you're the one trying to give and fix and be. And instead, like a relationship is supposed to be you having fun, and being in love and letting your love heal that person, but in a way that's healthy, not like you having to sit there with the notepad like, oh, tell me how you felt when you were 6, right? Bottom of the deck, it says surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. This situation, this person, I'm not saying this isn't your person if you're dead set on them. But what I am saying is like, until you get to the bottom of what you've got going on, you're going to keep manifesting back very similar versions of this person where they're not willing to get to the bottom of what they have going on. The takeaway for them is always going to be the wrong thing. And you're going to keep repeating that cycle with them. So if you want that to change, the best thing you can do is to let this go and work on what you need to work on that's new for yourself. And if this is meant to be for you, this person will do the same. And one of these days, when you come back in each other's orbit, you'll be on the same wavelength. And if this isn't what you want, then thankfully you can let this go and you can attract a relationship that isn't a therapy session every time you hang out with that person and you really are just having a good time, right? After you take some time to get to the bottom of like that unhealthy tie that it seems like keeps being brought to the surface in your relationships, right? And like you really do have this kind of superpower where you can heal people, but it's seeping into all of the areas of your personal life. And that's showing me that whatever you're doing for a living, it's very possible that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, like the purpose that you chose for yourself or what allows you to use your gifts. Because instead of you, like, say, being a therapist or being some kind of like healer in whatever way that looks like for you, you're probably ignoring the call to do that. And because you're not doing that in your everyday like professional life, it's seeping into like your friendships and your relationships into a place where it's like you're going to do this whether you do it for work or you do it with the people in your close proximity. So the best thing you could do is probably do this for work to satisfy that energy that needs to be expressed and released. Because that really is like kind of what you're supposed to do to elevate the collective is be a healer. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to get people that need to be healed. And if you're like working at Burger King, right, when in reality you're supposed to be hitting the books so you can get that license or whatever, you're going to attract a lot of people in your personal life that probably would be your clients if you had a practice, like people that should probably be paying you, right? So that's just something to consider as well. All right, Leo, this was your love reading. Good luck with this. I will speak to you again soon, but in the meantime, you take very good care of yourselves. Bye.